All right, now the winner is obviously going to be in line to face Terence Crawford, Errol Spence. Finally, July 29th.
Well, yeah.
What you think of that fight?
What I think about that? What you mean, Crawford?
Crawford and Spence, yeah.
Oh, I think that's going to be a hell of a fight, man. A good fight. And like I said, way back, Crawford got to be on his A game fighting Spence. Both of them great champions, man. You can't take nothing away from neither one of them. But Spence is the same. He never changed. He uses jab, go behind his jab, basic, but a great basic fighter, man. What I mean, he's good with it. Whatever he do, he's good with it. Like he jabs, walk you down, break you down. You know what I mean? So you got to be prepared for this. To do that, he does it every round. So you got to be in top shape when you fighting Spence. You know what I mean? And what you call him to me, Crawford is he more elusive than Spence. He can fight both sides, and he's slick. You know what I mean? But he tend to take a few shots. But I don't know if he gonna be able to take them shots that Spence putting on him once he connect with him. You know what I mean? But I think it's a good fight. I think it's a 50-50 fight. But like I said, if he start off slow, if Crawford start off slow, it's all over. It's gonna be all over for him. And one thing about Crawford too, I like about him too, he'll fight you though. He like them boots. He'll fight you. So it might be a different situation. You know what I mean? Once he have to fight Spence, it'll be a different fight. You know what I mean? But he can box and move, use angles, and because he got all different attributes that he can use. Yeah. You know what I mean? Spence is just one way. He's walking you down, breaking you down, and letting his hands go. And that's, hey, you got to be prepared for that, man. You know what I mean? You got to train hard for that. Because Spence does it every round. Every round. You know what I mean? Like I said, they both great fighters, so I can't take nothing away from neither one of them. To beat him, do you have to back Spence up at certain times in the fight? Yeah, that's what we would do. We'd back him up, and we'll fight inside when we have to fight inside. You know what I mean? You got to take chances if you want to be great. Like I always tell everybody, got to take chances, man. You know what I mean? Once you win the fight, then after that, you go back to what you used to do. You know what I mean? But to win the world championship, man, you got to let it all out, let it all go. You know what I mean? Do or die in that ring when you fight for the world title. So, and like I said, this is what Spence really want. You know what I mean? This is what he want with Undisputed. Yeah. Undisputed. He sat out the whole 14 months to get this fight. That goes to show you, man. Like I be telling people, man, no fighter scared of another fighter. It's business, man. It's business, man, and legacy. You know what I mean? And that's what he's looking at, though. As of now. Yeah. Okay. Fight that we talked about probably like the last 3 or 4 years since I've been interviewing you. Spence and Crawford is finally here. It seemed like everybody was down thinking it wasn't going to happen, but they got it made. Shout out to them. How you seeing that fight?
Let me think about it a little bit, see how camps go. It's a real close fight. I think it's like this. So I got to see how camps go, see what my guts tell me. But that's a close fight, man. It's going to be a hell of a fight. Right now, I say about 50-50.
As far as should we pay attention, when looking at that fight, should we pay attention to what fighters do well or what weaknesses do they have?
Both. I mean, both. Where they at mentally. Those guys are going to fight, though. I mean, this is going to be the fight of the century. I'm telling you, they're going to fight. After a couple of filling out rounds, their personalities is too competitive for them not to have a great fight. They're going to fight. Somebody going to get hurt in that fight. Them jokers is going to fight. Both of them dudes is mean, they competitive, they clutch, they rise to the occasion. I expect a great fight between both of them. Both of them are super competitive. So when one of them raise it, the other one going to raise it. They're going to keep going up. And it's going to be, who can keep going. Leonard and Hearns took a little time to cook, and then they start cooking around the 5th or 6th round. You know what I mean? I expect it to be one of those kind of fights. May the best man win. At this level, people mad at Earl and Terence for not like talking shit at the press conference, but they working together to make this money. Like, you know what I mean? Like they work together, you know. So they gonna be competitive. They gonna try to knock each other head off, but they don't have to act like that in no press conference. But I'm happy for both teams, man. You know, I'm real cool with I'm cool with Earl. You know, I've been around them. I got a real good relationship with Bowman. Red is my guy. You know, it's my man. We talk pretty often. I met Bud a couple of times. He's a good guy. But I'm happy for the coaches, man. I'm happy for the fighters. I'm happy to see those brothers make life-changing money, man. I really don't even want to make a pick because I got a relationship with both teams. I just want to see them both do well, man. But I think it's going to be a great fight. I do think the roles is going to be different than what people think. I think Earl's going to be more of a boxer coming forward because Earl box going forward. And I think Crawford is going to be the puncher in the fight. That don't mean either one of them. Don't mean Crawford can't outbox him and Earl can't outpunch him. But I think that, you know, Crawford has found his groove with these knockouts. I don't think nobody's been the distance with him since he's been at 47. And he's been finding the sweet spot in all of his fights. And I think he's going to be looking forward with Earl. And I think Earl going to step, but he box going forward, kind of like Hagler, where he's boxing you, but he's coming to you. So I think it's going to be awesome, man. Man, I can't wait.
Because I worked in his camp 3 times. Okay. He doesn't invite many people to his camp, but he invited us. I got him ready for the Porter. I got him ready for 3 fights. I got him ready for Garcia.
Okay. You said that fast like you saw some shit in camp.
Yeah, because he's just another breed. That guy looks like vanilla ice cream, but that guy is a continuous machine. Spence hits you and hits you and hits you, breaks you down, and when you finally recover from all those punches that he land, he's already recovered right before and he's right back on you. That guy beats you down. When you try to recover, he's right back on you. Crawford's going to see something different. Now, who is Crawford? Crawford's pound for pound, one of the best fighters in the world. So we got to expect adjustments. We got to expect a little chess match early on. But there's one thing you cannot deny about Spence, is pressure. Spence is not a boxer. He's not going to move. Spence is just going to come, and come, and come, and come, and come. And Spence don't walk in. Spence is pop, 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 boom, pop. He just keeps going. Now can Crawford make the adjustment? Both great fighters, but if you put in my hand to the fire, I'm going with the guy that I've seen a bunch of times in training. And then look at his resume. The guy's a machine. People say he slowed down after the accident. I don't think so. Look what he did to the Cuban.
Ugas.
And what did he say? He gave that Cuban respect. Like that interview, he goes, I looked into that in Ugas' eyes. I knew he wasn't playing. So that sent me back to the lab to know, let's get my shit together. And guess what? He got hit in that fight, right? Broke that motherfucker down. Just kept coming and coming and coming. And Ugas is a tough fighter.
Do you think it'll be a stoppage, or you probably see?
See, now you're going too far, right? Because you're talking about Crawford, right?
For sure.
If he stops Crawford, it'll be a surprise to the world. If Crawford stops Spence, it'll be a surprise to the world. Unless the Crawford support is like that close house knit, that they go, oh, he's gonna knock Spence out. That's just gibberish. Spence, oh, he's gonna knock her. That's just gibberish. You're gonna look at a very tough fight. A very tough fight. And we gotta, the key here is how does Crawford adjust to Spence? I don't think Spence is gonna adjust to anybody. It just comes. So what is he gonna do? He's with his jab, he's constantly with his jab. Look at the fight against Mikey Garcia. Go count the jabs per round that he was just on him. Map. 1-2s included, 1-2, map, just kept going.
Is that, because I just remember you fought 2 Garcia. Did you prefer Mikey or Danny?
Danny.
Oh, okay. Just sure.
Danny, Porter, and Mikey.
Oh, okay.
Because I had a guy that fought both ways.
Okay.
He used Miguel Borrego for those camps.
Gotcha.
And he's got to make the adjustments. Spence got to make the adjustments. Crawford has to make the adjustments. Spence is coming.
Gotcha.
Spence is coming, man.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate you, brother.
All right, for me, finally here, Reg. July 29th. Errol Spence, Terence Crawford. Who you got?
You know what? I don't know, man. Somebody going to bed though. I just think it's a pride thing that I don't think neither one of them going to back up. Somebody's going to bed. It's going to be a hell of a fight, though. So, if I had to edge it, I'm going to say Bud. I'm going to have to edge it, I'm going to say Bud. But we haven't seen the best boxing come out of Errol Spence yet. Because he can box. I mean, he can box. So, but it's gonna be a great fight, man.
What does Terence Crawford have to do to win this fight?
I just think Terence Crawford just gotta, just do what he do every fight. Box, stay smart, and just stay on his job.
Word around the street is you the southpaw whisperer, man. You got like 4 or 5 southpaws. They say you hide them underneath the steps. Now, Errol Spence, natural southpaw. Bud's kind of like a hybrid. Who does that favor?
Well, the fact that Bud can switch, I don't think it favors either. Even though Spence is a natural, but Bud is one of the best fighters that can adjust. He can adjust to anything. So I don't think his play is favored in that. But it's gonna be a great fight, man. 2 great fighters. It's gonna be a great fight.
If you were training Errol Spence, what would be your game plan going into a fight?
I wouldn't tell nobody. I wouldn't tell nobody. It'd definitely be a great game plan though. Because when you got a boxer that can punch, it's different from having a boxer with no power. You know what I mean? Because when you got a boxer with no power and you got a fighter just walking through it, it's a different ball game. But you got a boxer that can punch, so it's gonna be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting.
If you had to lay money on the wood, you gonna lay it on Crawford? Decision, stoppage?
If I have to lay the money down, I'm gonna go with Bud. I'm gonna go with Bud decision.
Okay.